Zuffa Boxing strikes again. Absolutely ridiculous, shocking, breaking news. A twist of events when it comes to Conor Benn. It's just been announced. Conor Benn has officially signed over to Zuffa Boxing. Yup, that's him and Dana White. It's real. A guy who is currently coming off back-to-back fights with Chris Eubank Jr. The first one, arguably one of the greatest events I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Lost that fight, but came back in the rematch and absolutely held it down. Was clearly the healthier and better fighter against Chris Eubank Jr. in that night. A fighter who has controversially been ranked the #1 fighter for months now in the WBC welterweight rankings at 147 pounds, but hasn't fought there in 3 years, since 2022. Has been fighting at 150, 154, going as high as 160 against Chris Eubank Jr. and is currently in this position right now where we understand if the WBC, which they will, end up mandating a fight between Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia or Mario Barrios, depending, of course, we know whoever wins this WBC welterweight clash taking place tomorrow night will have the option to a voluntary defense. So we don't know if it's going to be Conor Benn automatically, even though there's guys out there like Dalton Smith not having the option to fight in a voluntary, but has to fight against Alberto Puello just like that, because the WBC and Mauricio Sulaiman want this to happen. So why can't they do the same with Conor Benn? But all of a sudden, in my opinion, is Conor Benn even going to be fighting for the WBC anymore? As he signs over to Zuffa Boxing, we know the comments that Dana White just made after the third event that Zuffa Boxing put on at Jabba versus Charles Martin, the main event, honestly was one of the best cards that they had out of all three. Only 2 of them ended up going to decision, the rest all knockouts. You had Dana White at the post-press conference, absolutely exciting, talking crap on everybody, specifically Eddie Hearn, Mauricio Sulaiman, Oscar De La Hoya, the WBC.
I think that the guy from the WBC is the greatest PR thing to ever happen for Zuffa Boxing. I mean, that guy should just keep doing interviews every day. Keep talking. It's incredible. Smash Eddie Hearn or anything else. But Eddie Hearn works for his dad. You know what I mean? He works for Dad. There hasn't been any pushback. Okay. This is like beating up babies. I feel like I came in and I'm beating up babies. I expected more. I expected some pushback.
And now, all of a sudden, we see Conor Benn is with Zuffa Boxing. So what does that mean? Will he be fighting and someday competing for the WBC welterweight champion title of the world? Or does Dana White and Conor Benn have a plan to make him Zuffa Boxing's welterweight champion of the world? As Zuffa Boxing starts to get the ball rolling, they have a world title fight coming up in the cruiserweight division. The first Zuffa Boxing title on the line of this league, whatever you want to call it, with Jairo Pataya and Brandon Glanton. Now, Conor Benn is coming over in what I believe is going to be competing in the welterweight division. Or does Dana White and Conor Benn have something even more diabolical coming to fruition? I just want to put this in my head. The WBC has to follow rules, right? Just because Conor Benn signed over to Zuffa Boxing doesn't mean, that they could just kick Conor Benn out of the goddamn rankings just like that. That would be absolutely blasphemy. I wouldn't be surprised, though, the way the WBC runs. Corrupt. favoritism, can't lie about that. Wouldn't it be diabolical if Dana White and Conor Benn end up becoming the WBC and the Zuffa boxing world champion all at once? Oh, and is having to pay all these sanctioning fees to the WBC, but isn't paying nothing to Zuffa boxing? My goodness, bro. This is absolutely shocking news. Conor Benn is officially a Zuffa boxing member. Let me know what you guys think, man. This is the MMA Boxing Addict channel reporting to you, and I'm out.